Hello Baker Finance students. We are now in our final week. Hope everyone enjoyed the holiday break, and I know you all will get some additional breaks when we get to the Christmas time, but we got our last week here, so just about wrapping up everything with our finance course. For this week, you're going to have your final form discussion. What I want you to do is put out there something that you found interesting about your company when you did the research, and also whether you would recommend buying this stock. This could be whether it would be something you would buy for the short run or long run. So just give your opinion about that. And then also, reflect on something that you learned during this course. We've been in this class for a little over 2 months now that you might be able to apply in your work environment or to your personal life and your personal finances. So I'm interested to hear about that. So make your initial post by Thursday, and then make sure to wrap up with 2 responses to your peers by the end of the week. Do make sure to get everything submitted by Sunday midnight, because after that date the course does close up and nothing will be accepted. So just get everything done on time, you should be fine. In addition to the forum discussion, you also have your final homework, and you also have your company analysis. So try to crank through those things a little bit earlier this week, get it done so you can enjoy the weekend. Now with this final week, we just have 2 chapters, Chapter 19 and Chapter 24. Chapter 19 looks more at managing a company's cash. It talks about net working capital. So there might be times, especially when you're buying inventory, that you don't actually have cash coming in. You might be expending cash, but you're looking to get cash, so you have to think about, do I have to borrow short term? Do I want to go with a more relaxed strategy, have more long-term debt? But either way, somebody has to, within the company, has to manage that. And a lot of times that begins with budgeting. There are going to be different times of the years when cash flows are going to change. There could be periods of payroll, could be periods of dividend payments, could be just seasonal in nature. This time of year with retailers, a lot of their cash flow is coming in right now. They've been building up with a lot of inventories, and now they're getting ready for the holiday season. They're hoping that they're going to have strong sales, so that's when they get their cash flows in. And there's some other things too that companies do, especially retailers that can use credit cards, but not every business does credit card transactions. They may extend credit terms. So a lot of this chapter talks about the cash conversion cycle, and ideally, even from a personal standpoint, you want to try to take as long as you can to pay your bills, but you want to try to accelerate your payments to yourself as soon as possible, and that reduces that cash conversion cycle. And some companies such as Dell that are very good at this, just deal with just-in-time inventory systems. They keep their inventory very low, and they're able to get the cash very quickly, so they don't have much of an issue with this. But other companies have to be more realistic in the market that they're in, and they have to think about, well, I may have to extend some credit terms to my customers or my vendors, and it may be a while before I get paid from them. So it's just the part of doing business and the nature of business. So, but having a plan in place and managing that is important for a company to be successful. And knowing about what the right tools and the right banking relationships are going to be important to help the company be successful. All right, with the last chapter, Chapter 24, now this is a little bit more technical chapter, but it talks about hedging, and obviously there's ways that companies can reduce their risk. There's all types of risk out there. Primarily one way they do it is purchasing insurance, but there are also what we call financial derivatives that companies can use if the transactions are large enough that they would want to hedge to protect against some large price increase, or if you're a farmer, you might be worried about what the price of wheat is going to be 6 months from now. So there is one option: you can do nothing, and that is some options that companies take. Of course, this can be costly if a price moves against your favor. So you always think about what is the underlying asset. It could be an interest rate, it could be a currency, it could be some type of commodity. Right now with the airline industries, a lot of the airline industries have saved a lot of money because fuel prices have gone down so low. Now they probably have hedged these contracts back 6 months ago, a year ago, in order to lock in prices, but they could have done nothing and just enjoyed perhaps more profits, because engaging in some type of hedge is a financial cost, that there is some price to doing this. But imagine if fuel costs went up the other direction, they got caught off guard, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. So when you look at these things in this chapter, oftentimes they'll talk about what's called the spot market, which is the current price, and some potential future price. But there's different types of derivatives you can look at. There's options, might be the right to buy or sell something in the future at a specified strike price. There's futures, where basically you're taking a bet or position which way you think the price is going to go. Again, it's always important to think about your underlying asset. So if I'm a farmer and I'm selling wheat, I'm worried that the price of wheat is going to go down in the future. So I would take a futures option to bet that it's going to go down. So that way, if 6 months from now the price does go down, I win on the futures market, but I lose when I sell my wheat at the lower price. So it's a hedge. But as a farmer, I would not take the other position that I bet that the price of wheat is, say, going to go up, because you have the underlying asset of wheat. That just wouldn't make sense. And there's also some more technical derivatives, such as interest rate swaps. And I put out there a video from the Khan Academy that explains it, I think, pretty well. And there's another link too that gives a lot more detail if you're interested in viewing those, about options, other derivatives, about futures, and how they work. But I do encourage you to take a look at it, at least the interest rate swap video, because that kind of helps explain one of the more technical aspects of the chapter, why someone would engage in an interest rate swap, or someone is swapping, say, a fixed payment with a variable payment. It's just kind of the perspective of the company and what they want to be engaged in. So, well, that's it for today. Just again, if you do have any questions during the week, do send me an email, or make sure to jump in those forum discussions early. But I want to say that I have enjoyed working with you all the past 2 months, and I do highly encourage you, if you ever get the chance to go to Baldwin, even though you're online students, join me for graduation. I always do that. I'm always Marshal number 3, so I fight off the paparazzi for you and I get you back to your seat properly. But I want to say that I have enjoyed working with all of you and sharing all your experiences over the past 2 months. So take care and have a great holiday break.